Hi. So for the last like 2 weeks and change-ish, I have had no idea on what to make a video about. And like I've been having fun making videos. I don't want to stop making videos. But I haven't been able to think of anything in particular that I thought was somewhat interesting. But what I have done was draw new character sheets for OCs I haven't paid attention to for many years. So guess what content you're getting? That's right, you get to listen to me yap about my OCs. This could go on forever, like absolutely forever. I am limiting myself talking about each one for max 5 minutes. While I'm talking, you got a video of the art and like pop-ups of old art as I talk. So, we got 3 OCs we're going to talk about today, and the first one is my sweet boy, Torque. So I think Torque actually came after another one of my OCs I'm going to talk about later, but Torque was the first character sheet I drew on this whole train. I was definitely into the whole original species drama of the 2010s. I really wanted my own original species. You had Circles and you had Dutch Angel Dragons and all these other cool fantastical beasts, and I wanted one. And one of the ones I came up with, and the idea was this was the closed species. This was the one that people would pay me to design characters that they can have one of their own, were a chimeric combination of a snake and a lion. And you combine that, and you got the very creative name Serpion, or Serpion. So creative. Anyway, the idea is lion body, long snake neck, snake tail with a little lion poof on the end, and then a really good combo of like snake and big cat anatomy in the head. And then I later planned that all of these creatures had their own like breath weapon magic, usually like elemental themed. And they are sentient and sapient. And then there's some pass and go about them having like an anthroform humanoid, but like they're just fun to draw on all four. They're cool critters. They're cool. And mine was Torque. Now Torque is I had to like pause and look it up. Torque is a blue Malaysian coral snake. And the idea behind these things too is that like they're always natural snake colors. So of course, being the pick-me I was at the time, I had to find a crazy colored snake, and these snakes are like bright blue teal with orange and red and yellow heads. And I thought that was really cool. So I designed a bunch of like baby versions and all these different characters and stuff. The first one was actually like a random raffle sort of thing for a convention. I made these like badges of the characters, and then I did a character sheet later, and it was like this boa snake, and honestly still a very pretty colored character design. And I ended up making a bunch of other ones, and there are other of these species that like exist out there in the world. I do have a list of them, but I don't think any of them are still active characters. There's one point where someone was talking about making like a fursuit of one that I don't think ever happened. But Torque is my blue boy. Torque is obnoxious. Torque thinks he's amazing. He is a little bit of a playboy, but above all, as cool and like attractive as he thinks he is a loser. He is the most losery loser boy of all of the cool breath weapons of like acid and fire and all this other stuff he could have gotten. He's got hot steam. And like, yes, I know hot steam can do some damage, but like when you're standing next to other creatures who like are breathing fire and stuff, hot steam is considerably less impressive. I think he winds up working at like a laundry in like a humanoid city in some fantasy world. I do like the idea eventually of like just doing like a anthology series of some random stuff that happens around him. He doesn't have very good main character energy, but he would be a fun side character because, like I said, he thinks he's hot shit. He's not. He thinks he's super attractive. He's good looking snake, lion, I guess, thing, but like, no, he's just kind of a loser, and he's lame, and I love him. And I've put him on Artfight over the years, and he's actually like one of my most popular characters on Artfight. Yeah, as of this year, this guy's got like 20 attacks on Artfight. So he's very, very popular. He's just a fun design. He's a cool design character. So like, please enjoy Torque art. He's the cool guy. Up next, we have a character that is very close to my heart, and another one from the rage of I need to be a special snowflake with my own original species, but this time it was a free to make your own. Anyone could make one of these. And they started because I was having a straight up fever dream. I had the flu, I was super sick, and I had a dream. I came up with the coolest original species, and everyone made fursuits of them, and it was like the Dutch angel dragon, and I was the new telephone, and it was this huge crazy thing. People had them for their personas, like, I was so cool. And it was definitely a dream. And before that, I had just discovered this GIF, and I'm gonna try and find it so I could show you, of like a baby emu, and someone had like animated little cartoon tube arms on it, and it was running around like crazy, and that was the basis of these amazing creatures that were Jurassic Park velociraptors with like mule or bunny ears, covered in fluff, specifically chicken feet. Like, I found this very important and like stick to it to this day. They have chicken feet, not dinosaur feet, chicken feet. And no arms and no tail, and their arms and tail are replaced with ghost parts, magical see-through ghost parts, and they are called Phantasians, which is like a bastardization of phantom and the like scientific name for chickens and all of those things. And my OC is named Bucket because I have a habit of just naming characters the first word that pops into my head, and I thought Bucket was super cute. And Bucket, for a long time, he's just been a character I like to draw. He's cute. He's adorable. Like I said, people have made their own Phantasians. I had that as an option on Artfight as well, and some people have made theirs. He's also quite popular in Artfight, but he's also just the cutest, patootiest. But something fun about Bucket is a couple years ago, I entered an original character tournament. Basically, you draw yourself fighting someone's OCs, and they fight your OCs, and then judges look at the art, and the best one goes forward. Artist of the Ready is like the biggest one, the one I've been obsessed with since I was like 12. But this other one was a similar flavor. It was called Thieving Crow, and the idea is you get sucked into this world where you're fighting other people. But you have stolen your original character's powers, but your original character still walks around with you. And like everyone had like these super powered character peoples, and I had my dinosaur chicken, and I had his ghost arms, which just led to really fun drawing this just like noodly character because he has no arms now at all. He's just a head and little chicken feet. And I wound up getting all the way up to round 2 by like complete mistakes because people kept dropping out. But there's a bunch of comics of Bucket that were drawn by me and other people because that's how the system works, and I love it. And like, I definitely lost, and but Bucket is a fan favorite, and again, quite popular on Artfight, and I love him, and he's got the intelligence of like a smart dog and makes noises like one of my cats. So if you read the comics, you just keep going like, and now I'm an adult woman who made a bunch of noises on YouTube. That was totally normal. Anyway, Bucket. I love Bucket. He's just cute. He's cute. I've done art trades for him and stuff like that. He's just a really fun character to draw, like Torque. I think Bucket technically came before Torque, but I can't draw Torque and not draw Bucket because they kind of go hand in hand. I don't think they're in the same world necessarily, the same story, but like in my head, they're like next to each other. And then that leads us to the third in our trinity of characters I don't give enough attention to, Madrigal. Now, Madrigal is a dragon, and she's a big old beefy dragon, and she like Torque and Bucket, I don't pay much attention to. I don't have stories for. I don't write them into stuff. But like they have a really cool character design, and I like that. It's cool. And Madrigal started where me and my friend Cindy wanted to do a role play. And our like original idea was like it was gonna be text-based role play, but we were gonna throw random dice in just to like add a bit of randomness. And the original idea was we were going to be, it was a Dragon Rider world, and I was going to be the dragon and her dragon's rider, and she was going to be the rider of my dragon and roleplay her own dragon. So that way, like, you had that, like, argument between the rider and the dragon, and we're going to be playing basically 2 characters each, and it was really fun, planned, and we never did it. We never did it at all. But we still did designs, and, like, she still has her character. His name is in my head, but I gotta figure out how to spell it. Hold on. I think it's pronounced Eogon. And like, yeah, they're like opposites of each other. They're supposed to be like foils. So Eogon's this like lithe and thin and airy dragon. Flying is easy for him. He's small, all this other. And Madrigal is just big. Madrigal is the biggest Beefosaurus dragon ever, and I love her. So she is supposed to be massive. Her wings are not great for flying. They're like full-on like hands with like pads and thumbs. She's supposed to be from like a cliffy mountainous region where like she uses her wings to climb up the mountain as much as gliding. And she's not supposed to fly very good. She's supposed to be very strong. She desperately wants to be a dragon rider's dragon and get the part of society that supports her, but she's just not built for it. On top of her like physical incapabilities of being a dragon rider dragon and not being able to fly very well, which is supposed to be like minimum, she doesn't breathe fire either, or technically breathe any element. She instead has a highly flammable drool saliva situation, which is not very conducive to living in populated human areas either. And like her whole thing is like she's like you dribble up the drool, and then she's got a special blunt tail that she strikes against stone that's supposed to create fire and just set fire to things that way. And again, system works. Again, not very conducive to being a dragon rider dragon and like flying in and saving the day. So, yeah, she's not good at her job, but I love her and her whole fight of like doing that. And like, honestly, at this point, I'm kind of interested at some point in writing a story of the whole dragon rider thing from the dragon's perspective. Like, I'm sure it's happened, but it would be really fun to give Madrigal some attention. And I love her so much. And her design's really cool. I'm pretty sure I have talked at length. I originally had planned on like timing myself on this to make sure I didn't talk too much, and then I got distracted because I was talking about my OCs, and everyone loves talking about their OCs. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the art, and hopefully I'll come up with another idea. I did end up drawing some other character sheets of some other OCs, so I could just yap about my OCs again. But besides that, thanks for coming, and I guess I'll see you later.